Hello! Hello again! Hi Ember, hi Armand, hi Warlord. And thank you for the resub, Warlord Pete, that's greatly appreciated. 16 months, fantastic, definitely good to see you around. It feels like it's been a while, I hope things are okay for yourself. Glad to hear you're good, Ember, and only okay-ish, Armand. I'm sorry to hear that. As Warlord Pete says, I do hope your evening gets better for you. And yes, we're here for a bit of an entertaining stream. Bit of something different. Like I said, this is not serious in the slightest. This is just entirely for some fun. Time flies, doesn't it? Yeah, it's been a while. It's been working like a dog. Oh, I know that feeling. Definitely know that feeling. So yeah, as is mentioned, I like a good bandwagon. Good bandwagon like the next person. And I figured, you know, just to mark the occasion of the Barbie movie and the Oppenheimer movie coming out this weekend, what better way to combine children's little plastic dollies and war crimes with Warhammer figures, painted up as possibly going to be one of the most kind of badass Barbies ever. So what we have here is a 3D printed Drukhari Succubus proxy that I was originally going to paint up for a little squad of Cult of the Red Grief. But again, thanks to the joys of 3D printing, I've got another one of those curing ready for that purposes. I figured, instead, why not have some fun with this one? Also, pinkest pink. Yes! Definitely. You read my mind there, Armand. We are going to be cracking out the pinkest pink once again. I'm going to have some fun with this. Feels like it's been ages since I've used it. I've not really had an excuse to. This is going to be good fun, if nothing else. I'm just going to get ready to also go live on the gram. And there we are, right. So we're live on both Twitch and Instagram. Hello to everyone out there across both. Let's just straighten that up a little bit. Ooh. Aha. There we go. Right. Fantastic. And I figured if we're going to be painting up effectively what amounts to a murderous death metal Barbie, apparently I started a live video. I did. Through the magic of the internet. It's only fair that we put some appropriate tunes on. Besides which, I think we probably had enough spoilers for the Barbie movie, because, yeah, that was literally the entire Barbie soundtrack. And I spotted a couple of the songs and I was like, oh, okay. Slight spoilers, I guess? Apparently it's fantastic. I really do want to go see it, actually, so... Gonna make song requests? You can, but you might not need to. There we go. Right. We're live. We are ready. I have all of my paints ready. And yes, as mentioned last night, the VODs from these streams will be going up on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. I'm probably going to work through a backlog of them. So this might not necessarily end up on there straight away. There we go. Right. I think first things first, I want to get those eyes blocked in. So let's get a little bit of Black Templar for some eyeliner. Hi, Dave Hammer. How you doing? Hi, Jenny Red. Hope you're both well. Let's go party. And hi, Smart Sculpt. Oh, got lots of people coming in now. Just for those who've just tuned in on Instagram, because we're also live on Twitch at the moment. We currently have my chatters singing Aqua's Barbie Girl in chat. So that's how my evening's going. Now, genuinely, I'm actually in a really good mood. How are you doing there, Dave? Right.
We're here for the cult stuff.
How do all?
Hey, Kriegsman. Thank you for the resub. That's greatly appreciated. Right, gonna need a nice fine brush for this. Finer than that. It's going really well, actually. As I say, we're just having some fun, painting something up purely for the memes. Right, there we go. That's going to take a bit of time to... That's going to take a bit of time to dry before we can then start sketching in the eyes. So that gives us a bit of time to work on something else. And I think, as Armand rightly mentioned, pinkest pink is going to be required for what's going to be a death metal Barbie. Just for those on Instagram who, naturally, you can't quite see what I'm working on here, but just to mark the occasion of the opening weekend of the Barbie movie, we're going to be painting up this Dark Eldar Succubus proxy as if she's the most fabulously lethal Barbie doll you've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie, I was ever so slightly inspired by a Midwinter Minis' video where he took an actual Barbie doll and turned it into a Slanesh Keeper of Secrets, which was just pure nightmare fuel in the best possible way. And I figured, you know what, why don't we go the opposite route with that? Ah, yes. Pink is pink, the stuff that doesn't show up correctly on camera whatsoever. It looks salmon. It is not salmon. It was horrifying, yes, but it was brilliant at the same time. Like, screw the official model, I actually think that is so much better. It does, I don't get it, I really don't. But hey-ho. I'm not necessarily going to argue with results. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of Culture Hustle's super bass. Considering doing the Barbie slash Oppenheimer double. Honestly, same. I'm probably going to wait a week or two because apparently all the cinemas, like, not even just in my local area, but like across the whole Northeast, are packed. Like, for both films. And it's not just like any one particular brand of cinema, any one particular franchise of cinema, it's across all of them. Like, people have gone crazy for it, and it's kind of amazing that these films in particular, what would otherwise be probably kind of not on anyone's radar if it weren't for the marketing. And people have gone insane for them, but apparently they're both genuinely fantastic films. Can believe that summer holidays just kicking off. Oh god, yeah. There we are, a little thunk of super bass. I'm gonna need a spatula. Juxtapositioning of them is bizarre, but it works. Oh, what was it there's been a few other like weird sort of opening weekends of films like that in the past, but also albums. Like, I stumbled across a meme on Facebook earlier. I keep forgetting Culture Hustle calls that stuff super bass. I know, right? And it's all the more fitting that I'm using it for painting this model. Especially considering, you know, I'm not gonna say what was probably going through the head of the person who sculpted this thing, but let's face it, Dark Eldar's supposed to be lithe and skinny. She's dummy thick. Like, seriously. You've got watermelon crushing thighs on that, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Gave someone a spatula for Secret Santa once, it turned out they loved it and made a chili con carne with it. You can't go wrong with a good spatula. Like, I'm big into kitchen stuff because former chef for one thing, but also I just really enjoy cooking. So yeah, like get me some good kitchen equipment and I'm happy. Like I do have a couple of favorite spatulas. At least one wooden one, and I've kind of fallen in love with this IKEA branded silicone spatula that we have downstairs that sadly was ruined by one of my partner's exes. But I still love it. I think it's fantastic. What I'm probably going to do with this, actually, is probably use it as a layer. I'm thinking because I did a zenithal highlight on the model to begin with, I think what I'm probably going to do, just to start with... Hi, Battle Squig! Me too, not farmer chef, I love cooking for others. Strange implement to be in love with. Well... I mean, there are other implements that I do have fondness for, but they're less safe for work, to say the least. But yes, I stumbled across a meme on Facebook that pointed out the original Barbenheimer release almost 20 years ago was the Black Parade album by My Chemical Romance? Yeah, I think it was. The Black Parade album by My Chemical Romance on the same day as one of Hannah Montana's albums. And it's like, yeah, that's the exact same juxtaposition, and it's amazing, to say the least. Right, so I have a concern that's going to be a little bit too thick. So I'm thinking of maybe thinning it down with a little bit of thinner medium. Just a tiny drop or two. Oh. I don't remember if it was exactly that album specifically, but it was a My Chemical Romance album that was released in like October 2004 on the exact same day as one of Hannah Montana's albums. Streak around past two men, one had a stroke, the other wasn't good enough. Love it. Oh, it's fantastic. There we are. We have our pinkest pink mixture. For those on Instagram. So yeah, it actually looks a lot nicer on my phone camera than it does through this webcam. It's very weird. But like, compare it across two different webcams. Actually, can't really see it from there because of the lights. It looks like 3 different shades of pink. It's so strange. Right, I'm going to pop this stuff to one side because I might need to come back to that lot later. Right. As I think what we'll do is we'll start off with a little bit of contrast paint just to give us a good set of base and shading to work with. Hi, Shiro-senpai. Hope you're doing well. So let's go for... Not Fleshed Air is red. That one. Sigvald Burgundy. Just as a reminder for people as well, we do have our Pride Month t-shirt available in the merch store for this week only. It will be coming out of the store. Excuse me. It will be coming out of the store and therefore no longer available as of next Sunday. No, sorry. My mistake. 1st of August that we're taking it out. So, Tuesday. Next Tuesday. But yeah, I do really like this sculpt. And yeah, it is kind of like deliberately more cheesecakey than your standard Dark Eldar Succubus. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Especially for what would end up being like the warlord of that particular force. And she just has kind of a badass look about her. And let's fair, I've seen worse. I've seen way worse on Cult 3D. Heck, we have worse in some folders on the PC. Anyone had a tarot card reading? Believe it or not, I used to be into that sort of thing a very long time ago. I actually used to be able to read tarot cards. I kind of stopped when I kind of gave myself a bit of a shake of the head and went, wait, what the heck am I doing? I don't actually believe in this nonsense. Ooh. Actually, the way this is going on over the top of those greaves there, I'm kind of unironically loving this. This would make for a really cool Dark Eldar color scheme. Yeah, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. Truth be told. I like collecting tarot cards though. Like, I like the designs of the decks more often than not. Like, the artwork is pretty spectacular on a lot of them. Had 3 readings tonight, I always pull death. Ooh, fair. To be fair, there is a bit of a misconception about that. Like, death is not a bad card in tarot readings. It actually just means change. No, the cards you don't want to pull in a tower reading are usually the devil or the tower. And like some of the cards that fall in like the suits of swords, there is some that are a bit meant to have kind of like ominous meanings. Like there's one that's literally just the front of the card is a guy and he's just like he's just a body laid on the floor and he's just like speared from all angles with a million swords, and it's like that's not a good sign. Whatever. There's no interpretation you can take of that particular card that is any way, shape, or form good. Hi, Spook Rosa. Paint stage so far is actually going quite well. We only just really got started. Just painting up our own Barbenheimer, as it were. How about yourself? How's your day going? Hi, Witch Queen. Hope you're well. Where's it from? Cult 3D. I forget which user uploaded it, but if you search for like Drukhari Succubus, it's one of the few free minis that shows up. See if I can try and find it. Ah, there it is. Yeah, it's literally listed under Evil Space Elf Lady by Caddy H11. And to be fair, we do have a 3D print store, and we do take custom requests. So, just saying, if you're UK based and you want to get a hold of this miniature, just drop us a message. If you click exclamation point 3D in chat, that'll take you to all the links you need. We need to meet up at some point. Yeah, I'm game for that. You'll just have to let me know when. Like, my schedule is a little kind of up in the air, basically with like lots of appointments and such coming in the near future, but I can still make arrangements. I just need like enough notice. And yes, we do have an offer at the moment, 25% off all orders above £15 if you use the code 25OFF at checkout. I've got to admit, I do love this contrast paint. It's coming out really nice. There we go. Just let that settle for now. And just for the sake of those of you who might be tuning in via Instagram, this is where we're up to at the moment. Still fairly early days yet. Oh, contrast paint's damn good. No problem, Ember. But yes, as Ember just pointed out there, we do have slots open for 3D for our 3D print store as well. So if you want any kind of custom requested stuff, again, just drop us a message on Etsy and we'll get back to you about it. Right. I'm actually thinking, do I want to go bright whites? No, let's go slightly off white. Going back down to our smallest brush. We just now need to pick out the sclera on the eyes. They want to strip and repaint entire 3,000 points of Imperial Guard for me. No. No, I don't. Although, then again, like, depending on if you're prepared to pay very good money for it. We like the red armor. Thank you. It's gonna end up pink, and I mean bright pink. Like, the pinkest pink. Quite literally pink. How much is infantry? Depends how many infantry you want doing, is the short answer to that. Like, my rates tend to start... Again, I have my own separate Etsy store for commissions, as well as I'm on Fiverr as well for my commissions. Meant about the Imperial Guard, but good to know. At least your Honored Infantry is 150 models. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I do tabletop standard models from about £20, usually for about a squad of up to 10 models at maximum, and that'll just get you basic slap chopped, base colors, minimal highlights, very simple basing, that kind of thing. So it depends how much in terms of infantry. If you want like a larger army project, then probably you would maybe want to go for one of my higher packages. Which I'd say probably probably my highest level, which is £150 for bulk orders. Maximum model count 100. So yeah. But the beauty is you can kind of mix and match packages as well. So hi, Scrapper 84, hope you're well. Right. I'm thinking probably like a nice bright blue for the eyes. It is Barbie after all. I would, however, charge a significant amount extra for the restripping of them. For the stripping of them, though. Because that's an insane job in and of itself. And not one I'm particularly fond of. There we are, a little bit of electric blue. We'll thin this down ever so slightly. Just because I want nice control over my brush. Yeah, so my way she looks a little boss-eyed at the moment. But that's why we're doing the eyes first, because it's much easier to fix the eyes at this stage than it is when it's one of the last things you've done and you've already done all that work on the face. Makes me want to repaint my Dark Eldar now. Go for it! Absolutely go for it. I encourage paint-alongs. Definitely. I'll go back into some Black Templar. Just to fix that up a little bit. Yeah, I don't think that looks too bad at all, actually. Don't know if you're gonna see well enough on the camera on Instagram. No, doesn't want to focus. Never mind. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Great. Okay. And now that that's nice and dry, what will... Actually, is that dry? Looks like it could still be a bit wet in areas. So I'll give that a little bit longer. What we'll do is we'll start on the hair, because that's the next biggest section of the model. Finish this European mini last year, still so undecided on what scheme to go with. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh, wow. Okay, I mean, holy heck, literally just opened that up and that's amazing. Right, give me a sec on this one. Like, that looks phenomenal. Still undecided on what scheme to go with. And the problem with Ivrain as well is she is like her own special character. But I'd be tempted to try and do like an entire army based on that look. Damn! That looks phenomenal. Love it. Little risque, but I like it. I mean, we're painting something similar. Oh, wow. Oh, that is beautiful. Person after my own heart, someone who respects vibrant colours. Love the highlights on this like little spell effect coming out of his hand as well. Nice texture on this. You are amazing. Damn. Very well done. Yeah, if you aren't already following Spook Rosa here on Instagram, definitely do that. This is exceptional stuff. How do you only have 660 followers? What? Oh, and you're on Twitch as well. Okay. Have you only just like started out on social media or something? 'Cause holy heck. No, I'm being genuine here. That's amazing work. I get that. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, though. Right. Okay, let's start off on the hair. So I'm going to take some, what would be Xandri dust if we were working with Citadel paints, but is actually Desert Yellow. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. No, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Like I say, at the moment, it's just a sort of contrast, like burgundy magenta. It's gonna look very different by the end of it. Oh, thank you for the raid, Mike Chili. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. How are you and how was your stream? Ooh, I think I thinned that down way too much. That's way too watery. Word up indeed. Welcome, Raiders. I am Eldritch Sophie, and tonight I are painting Death Metal Dark Eldar Barbie. It's really the most succinct way of describing exactly what bullshit I'm going with at the moment. Stream was pretty quiet. That's fine. I think they're both pretty good. Vallejo's just the superior selection. I'd agree. I would agree. I think price point as well, you can't really beat Vallejo over Citadel. They tend to work out significantly cheaper for what I would argue is more paint and better paint. But they both have their places. It's got a good chunk of my Infernus Marines sorted. Nice! I've got a bunch of Infernus Marines ready to be painted up as well, actually. For my Salamanders. I've just realised I've used the entirely wrong paint. Never mind. Never mind, we're going with it. I've ended up using what's actually closer to Avalanche Sunset rather than Xandridus. I probably should have used Khaki instead. Never mind, we'll go with it. I can repaint with Khaki in a moment. That's not necessarily the end of the world. How's life with me? Star Wars Vallejo's king for a reason. They literally have every colour you ever need. That's true. That's 100% true. Life's pretty good with me, actually. Like, it's had its ups and downs recently. But I'm just kind of, you know, giving life the old two fingers and just going with it instead. If that makes sense. Just enjoying myself for the most part. Took a bit of a break because there was a lot of like IRL stuff that was starting to pile up and get on top of me. And it just made even the prospect of painting for enjoyment, never mind for Twitch or for my commissions, just an absolute nightmare. It's why I've kind of put a lot of things on pause at the moment. But I'm getting back into it. Steadily getting there. And we've put a lot of focus into the 3D print shop because that's blown up in popularity pretty quickly. Anybody do want a kebab? If I weren't for the fact that I'm still nursing a giant home-cooked lamb dinner, and with like followed up by homemade apple crumble and custard, I'd probably say yes. Yes, I agree, Chili. IRL stuff does always come first. That's why I've not been super active on Instagram either, for the most part. Honestly, this end up looking a little less realistic just by sheer virtue of using the wrong base paint. I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, it's Barbie. It's meant to look unrealistic. Woefully bad at updating IG of late. He says drafting a post. I think what doesn't help is I've been kind of like sat on a mountain of whips with very little stuff actually finished. I mean, that's probably going to change. I don't know whether or not we're going to get this whole miniature finished in one sitting. I'd like to be able to. And we've only been going for an hour, to be fair. Shaded skeleton hard contrast. That was going to be my plan anyway. It's just my usual recipe for sort of like platinum blonde, well, blonde hair. Not necessarily platinum blonde hair, but blonde hair in general is usually like base coat of like a khaki colour, then skeleton horde over the top, then start working your way up through the lighter colours. So this is going to be an interesting change, because this is just like a bright yellow. Just realised I've missed a bit there. There we go, right. While we come back to that, we'll work on the armour next. Actually thinking I missed a little bit on the armour. Because that's definitely dry now. Just realised she's sort of wearing what look like stockings. It's either that. No, yeah, those are sort of stockings, aren't they? Right, okay. Glad I spotted that now. Warlord pink. Sorry, Warlord purple even. I know it's called purple. It's basically pink. Hi, Bully0362. Hope you're well. Just Barbifying this proxy Dark Eldar Succubus. Freehand fishnet model. I mean, that is a possibility. I just don't feel like that's kind of in keeping with the theme. Slutty Barbie. Eesh, terrible. I'm gonna try and keep it relatively PG. Although having said that, I haven't gotten into what I plan on doing with that skull that she's holding yet. Hi, Photo Machine. Hi, Riley Moo. Hope you're both well. Is that about this? There we go. No, I kind of see him as Spook Rosa. Like, I kind of unironically love this colour scheme for Dark Eldar now. It's weird how things work out sometimes. There we are. I can also use this as a chance to clean up any areas where we've accidentally hit it with the yellow for the hair. Just going to leave that darker colour in the recesses as well. just for the benefits of those on the gram as well. Like, we're getting there. And it's actually looking really good. Yeah, we'll try and keep that darker colour in the recesses wherever possible. We'll start working up through the layers though to get a nice vibrant pink. There we go. Working our way across each of the sort of like little panels on her leg armour there. Now just keeping these layers nice and thin so we can start building the colour up slowly, one step at a time. Okay, next up, we'll head on over to our pinkest pink. I can start layering with this. And we just want to keep it nice and thin for now. Which is going to be a bit tricky just based on the nature of this paint and how we've had to mix it. Like, I normally wouldn't work with paint in this kind of consistency because it does slightly feel like I'm fighting it a little bit. I wonder if I thin it down with a little bit of water, might that help? Not so sure. Thank you, Ember. That's greatly appreciated. Okay, that helps a little bit. But I sort of feel like I have less control over it now. That's a bit of a double-edged sword. Hey, thank you for the raid there, Ohana Hobby Workshop. Or should I say Mango? How are you doing? It's good to see you about. Oh, I completely missed the inside of the armor there. Oh well. We'll deal with that in a moment. Welcome in, raiders. Hope you're well. Hope your stream went well, Mango. We are just painting up this Dark Eldar Succubus proxy model to be the most badass Barbie you have ever seen. Yeah, if you aren't already following Mango, definitely go do that. It's quite insane just how much she can get painted. No, I'll just do the tips. Tips of the skirt like that. And yeah, I think I just need to sort of embrace the fact that this paint's going to dry a bit weird, just based on the sheer nature of it. But honestly, I'm kind of loving how it's coming out. Yeah, I figured we might run the risk of that happening, but I can always just go back over that one little strand of hair. That's not the end of the world. There we are. Can actually start using that as like a little bit of a highlight color now. And again, just for those playing along at home on Instagram, that's where we're up to so far, and honestly, I'm kind of amazed by it. Let me do something entirely as a joke, and it actually turns out looking way better than you ever expected it to. That's kind of the position I'm in at the moment. Right, let's fix up just behind there. There we go. What we'll do is we'll build that up as like a bit of a gradient as well. Just so we've got that extra bit of brightness across some of those areas. So this time just focusing more along the sharpest edges and just across the sort of like various tips of the various different features of the armor. There we go. I love it. I love how it's turning out. It's actually really, really good. Right, okay, I'll pop that to one side for now. We might work with a bit more of that in a moment or two. For now though, what I want to focus on is the hair. So I'm just going to go back into that desert yellow. We're just going to fix up this little strand of hair here where we accidentally hit it with some of the pink. There we go. Now this is going to require us to be a little bit more careful with it. I'm going to get some skeleton hard. I'm just going to coat all of the hair in this. We're not even going to thin it down. It's just going to get a big, nice, liberal coating of skeleton hard. Just very carefully going to dab it in and around the hair, across the head, down those strands on the sides there. And also round the back. There we go. Just got to sneak this in round the back there, in between all those details. Not going to worry too much about if I get any of it out onto the blade of the weapon. That's not even something I'm going to worry about right this very moment. And there, that just establishes in the colour nice and early. Again, just for the benefit of those over on Instagram. Right, what we can start doing now is we can start working on the skin. So we'll start with some tan colour as a nice base tone. There it is, literally right in front of me. As a nice base tone, and start working down into the shadows. Again, we'll thin this down a little bit more. And just carefully does it. All the way around the face. Just being extra careful as we get up to the eyes. But again, we can also use this as a chance to neaten the eyes up as well. Let's do a little knife ears poking out as well. There we go. I'm going to start working our way around the rest of the skin. I'm just being a little bit careful as we get closer towards the armour there. Just so we don't undo all that hard work we did with all those layers. There we are. Because this is just like the back area of the miniature where the hair gets in the way, we don't really need to worry about being too exact. It's just more about just trying to stay within the boundaries of it for now. We'll just work through the skin on her back there. There we are. I'm getting there. Something a little off about the left eye, though. I think I just need to go back in with a little bit of Black Templar and just very carefully sketching a little bit of eyeliner there. There, I think that works. Right. What we'll do is we'll start picking out some colours to go into things like the recesses of the skin and also up into the highlights. So we'll pop a little bit of mahogany brown down. A little bit of mahogany brown. I'm thinking we want to work up into some highlights with some pale sand. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at kind of like warm tones with this skin. So what we'll do, we'll work straight down into the mahogany brown, thin that down a little bit. This is going to be our darkest color, so we're going to focus this just into the shadows and recesses. So things like just around the throat there, just in sort of like the underside of the face. Just into the grooves on the ears as well. Apply a little bit just around the hairline. So you get a nice sort of like natural shading underneath where the hair sits. Makes the hair look a little bit more three-dimensional, unless like it's sort of like plastered to the head. And just underneath these armor panels as well, where they would create a little bit of natural shading. Just on the model. Yes, we'll probably put a little bit of this into the cleavage there, just to make that stand out. Because, let's face it, it stands out. No point denying it, so you may as well just work with it. Underneath the boobs. Just along the side of the abdomen. Just sort of start sketching out the abdominal muscles. And belly button there like that. Just in the crease of the left hand here. It's in that sort of very shaded area underneath the arms. We'll also do the inner thighs. Just a nice smooth motions. Underneath the cleft of the butt cheeks. And again, just following up that armor along like so. And again, I know you're not really going to see back here, so the details around the back are going to be a little bit kind of a second thought. But the fact of the matter is, there would be some shading around the back muscles. So just sketch those into place with that mahogany brown. We'll start creating our lighter skin tones. So we'll start mixing in small amounts of pale sand, a little bit of the desert yellow here as well, a little bit of the mahogany brown, some more pale sand, tiny bit of the Sigval burgundy, bit more pale sand, and a tiny bit more desert yellow. And this is where things get a little bit more tricky, is trying to create good natural looking skin tones. You can, by all accounts, cheat this slightly just using skin tone paints. The reality of the matter is, you're always going to struggle to get anything that looks even remotely natural without at least a little bit of mixing first. again, just for the benefit of those over on Instagram, I think you're gonna struggle either way to really see it on there, but this is at the very least kind of where we're working with at the moment. We'll mix some of the tan back into that colour. And that'll give us like a nicer mid-tone that crosses sort of the barriers between those colours. But likewise, we can go in opposite directions, start adding a bit more pale sand into the mix, and that'll probably get us our nice brightest highlights. Now, it's a case of picking out where the brightest highlights are going to fall. And I kind of go for like a bit of a half-shaded face with the face. Half-shaded look with the face. Just makes it look a little bit more natural. And I think what we'll do as well is we'll go back into a little bit of Sigval Burgundy. And we'll very carefully apply this across the lips. I was going to use this opportunity to neaten up a few areas where I can see I've kind of missed on my first pass. Mostly because they're just sort of round the back of certain areas here. We can just use some of our darkest colours, and that pretty much satisfies that. There we go. And just to finish off the armour, for the sharpest edges and sharpest points, we're going to get a little bit of squid pink. And again, we'll thin that down. And because we have a lot more control over this, we can really pick out some of these brightest highlights with this color. There we go. That's looking pretty damn great. I'll just finish up these highlights around here. There we go. Right. Now, for the sake of the stockings bikini situation, I want to do that in white, but to give it a nice shading, I don't know whether or not to go down into squid pink first, or change it up, go for a blue colour maybe? Yeah, let's change things up a little bit. Let's go for a little bit of a... Let's go for a nice pale blue. Just adds a little bit of a cold detail to contrast with the warmth of this sort of very bright pink. T minus 8 minutes. Ooh, okay. Actually looks really good. Countdown to Saturn. Ah, right, okay. Yay. Well, just for those who might be curious, we're actually going to be getting a new 3D printer. A much, much bigger one. So yeah, it's gonna mean bigger prints that we can do. It's gonna mean more possibilities for our 3D print store. And just overall, it's gonna be fantastic for us. There we go. There we are. I think whilst I have this colour out as well, what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to do the haft of the... I don't quite know what it is. Sort of like Naginata thing. It's a double-handed, double-bladed glaive. They're accessories. That's what they're normally called on dolls, isn't it? It's the accessories. Again, just going to be careful as we get closer to the armor. The less amount of work I have to do to fix that, the happier I'll be. And again, just for the benefit of those over on Instagram, this is the progress we have so far. I'm genuinely really pleased with myself with this one. We'll just go into some of this, into some of the blue, just for doing the darker underside areas. We'll bring it up to a nice bright colour with some of that white, just for our topmost highlights. There we are. I'm really, really happy with that and how that's turned out. Right. We can use this opportunity to focus on the hair. We're just going to mix in Mix in some of that desert yellow with some pale sand, and we'll also pop in, just for brightness, a splash of sun yellow. Okay, we're getting there. The more I'm using this colour, the less convinced I am by it. And again, it does look okay. It definitely has that sort of artificial blonde look, which, let's face it, is very Barbie. definitely stands out. That kind of goes without saying. We'll work a bit of pale sand into that. And we'll use this just as a glazed, just on one or two of the strands, not on all of them. Just mostly along the strands around the fringe there, just to help those stand out a bit. What we'll do is we'll mix a little bit of pale sand and some of the sun yellow together. We'll just use this around the sort of bottom and towards the insides of some of these strands. And just pull the colour up about halfway so you get this kind of glazed effect. Will actually work from the top of the ponytail as well. We'll pull a little bit of that colour in as well. There we are. I'm really quite chuffed with that. Just as a final step, just for some really bright highlights, we'll create a sort of corona effect, sort of a ring of highlights just in the middle. Actually, I'm going to pull that off. I'm just setting a layer down with the paintbrush and then wicking it off with my thumb. Sort of softens those highlights up a little bit. just smooths out that transition a little bit. And that gradient from one colour into the next. But we'll keep it nice and sharp and crisp, just around the middle of the fringe there, like that. And what we'll do is we'll follow those highlights up and around. Again, if you sort of imagine a halo, sort of around the top of the miniature's head, having descended down, and where that halo touches, that's where we'd apply the brightest highlights of the hair. And there we go. She's almost done. There's just the skull, the blade, and the base to do. Saturn ordered. Awesome! Sweet! Okay, right. Just for the sake of making sure I'm using the colours that are out on my palette, I'm going to mix together some of the desert yellow, some of the mahogany brown, and some of the pale sands. And we'll just use this on our little skull here. And just while that dries, we'll get ourselves some chainmail silver. Just keep things nice and simple. Just being very careful with this area of the blade, as it hides underneath the hair. Whereas over on this side, we can just be nice and liberal with it. We'll just go back through the gradient of blue again, just for the backs of these stockings. And probably take it up to about that colour, so that way where the main light is focusing, which is sort of like, I would say, upper left. That's going to be where the brightest area is. So a lot of this area is going to catch a little bit of the light, but not enough of it. Right, whilst we're doing that, that paint on the skull should be nice and dry. So we'll just give that a nice all over coat of skeleton horde. But yeah, I'm genuinely loving how this has turned out. Oh, this is fantastic. Right. Next up, we'll go into some bright silver, just to finish off the blade. And that should hopefully allow that skeleton horde to dry before we move on and work on the last few details Oh, that's a nice bright silver. We'll just cut the top edge of that blade. Same again on this side, just sort of following where these highlights naturally fall. Right, once that fully dries, we'll finish that off with a little bit of just straight up metallic medium, just to complete the highlights. We've got a little bit of metal medium. You just want to run that along the sharpest edges of the blade, just like so. Focus a little bit along the tip there. Just like that. Okay, great. Now that contrast paint on the skull isn't quite dry yet, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a start on the basing of this just to help finish this off. And to that end, I'm probably gonna need some PVA glue. Just thinking as well, I'm probably going to need a tray to do this in. That works. Old coaster. Right, I will be right back. And I'm also going to disconnect off Instagram, so Goodbye, everyone on Instagram. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I will see you all next time. Bye. I'll be back with yourselves in just a moment or two, though, so I will see you shortly. And I'm back. Right. Just going to pop that to one side for now. Got a big old bottle of just fairly standard craft PVA glue. And I'm just going to thin that down with a little bit of water so it flows a bit nicer. I just need a junk brush for this. Right, and we'll just coat the entirety of the top surface of the base in this stuff. If we get some on and around the feet, that's fine. I'm just going to take a little bit of paper towel. We're just going to clean up the edge there. Luckily this stuff hasn't dried just yet. so we don't have to worry about any of this paper sticking to it. Right, pop that to one side for now. We'll get a wider spatula, and I've got some Red Canyon basing sand here. And we're just going to cover the entire base in this. It's got to work a little bit quickly because that PVA is quite quick drying. And there we go. What we'll do is we'll tip it on the side and tamp off there we go. So nice, quick, easy basing. Tip that back in so we don't waste it. Right. Now we don't need to worry too much about how extreme we go with the highlights with this on the skull, for a very specific reason. And that is just sort of like the final touch to this model. We're going to add some blood and we're going to add some gore. And effectively, I want to be drenching this skull in blood for the blood god. But I'm also going to mix that in with some Yoo-hoo glue, so we get these nice, thick sort of strings of blood. And it's just going to look very gruesome and grisly. So again, we don't need to be super detailed with the skull at this point, because it's not going to be a focal point. Not once we finish it off. So, little metal bowl. Little metal palette here. We're going to fill that with some Yoo-hoo glue. Probably about that much. Don't need to go too crazy with it, because we're just doing this one detail. Now we're just going to take some blood for the blood god. And I'm just going to pour some of that straight out the pot. Straight into there. We'll just grab a little toothpick. Now we're just going to mix those two elements together. It's nice, thick, sort of sludgy effect. And before we go any further with that, I'm just going to go into some regular blood for the blood god. And we're just going to paint the entirety of that skull in it. Effectively, what we're aiming for is for this to look like it's just been freshly ripped out of some poor unsuspecting person's head. Possibly the last person who said hi Barbie to her. We'll take some of that up the arm. What we'll do is we'll coat the tip of the spear, glaive, whatever you want to call it, with some smears of blood for the blood god, BFTBG, just on both ends. With our Yoo-hoo and blood mixture, what we'll do is we'll wrap some strands of it. Just like so. kind of want to create some just sort of dripping off the arm there. I think I made the mistake of letting this dry a bit too much. Yeah, I've got a slightly better idea. Instead of blood for the blood god, I'm going to use flesh tearers red because it'll still have this, it'll have the right consistency and still have the right color. Most importantly. I'll get all the bits I need just so I can work quickly with this. I'll get a couple of toothpicks out just in case I need spares. Right, we got a little bit of flesh tearers red. I think the issue I'm having is the consistency of blood for the blood god is just causing problems. Whereas this should theoretically fix that. Oh yeah, that's much better. Actually looks like fresh blood as well. I think this has actually worked a little too well, maybe. Oh, actually that looks really good. Not super sure it's all that realistic, but I don't care because it looks so cool. Wow, okay. Right, we'll go back into some blood for the blood god. And we'll just take this nice big brush and we'll dip into some of that. We'll just cover that sand. And a little bit of blood for the blood god. Restocked and stuff on weight. Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic to hear. So I think maybe super glue might have been better for this. Just purely because it would have been a bit more stable with that PVA. I think the PVA is not quite dry enough. Want super glue? No, I'm good, thanks. Honestly. I think we're done. Genuinely, I think we're done. I think we just need to give that rim a nice rim job with some black paint, and then we're finished. Yeah, we can watch some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm quite pro that idea, actually. Right. And now we just need to remove the mini off our topper here. Oh my god, after all of that. Oh no! Okay. Super glue to the rescue it is then! Oh my god, that was like what? 3 hours of work? Jesus! Right, okay. Dear, oh dear. Right, okay. That was way too much. That was way more than I wanted it to be. We can fix this. We have the technology. Okay, that's in place, and I don't want to fiddle about with that too much. Oh my god. That was stressful. Oh boy. Tell you what. I think I'll do the rim outside of the stream. I think this is a good chance to maybe call it there. That was yeah, more stressful than I had any right to be. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely leave it there. Big thank you to everyone who's joined me tonight, though. Huge thank you to Mike, Chili, and Mango for the raids. It's greatly appreciated. Not bad for 3 hours work. I think we did really well. Just, yeah. Hopefully, I'll get that sorted out in time to be able to, yeah, hopefully be able to get that sorted out in time to post something on Instagram about, with it tomorrow. Right. I'm going to chuck you all at Holly Monster. And I will be back. I'll be back streaming this week. I just don't know exactly when. So all I can really suggest is keep an eye out on my Discord. Keep an eye out on my social medias. Because I will post something in both locations once I know exactly what's happening. But otherwise, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night, day, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. And I will see you all next time. Bye!